Welcome to Queer Coded Country, where Yeehaw meets Yes Queen.
A podcast about growing up in the South and realizing it's pretty dang queer. I'm Tucker.
And I'm Hunter. And we've got some announcements.
Down to business.
I mean, from the top, we
immediately.
From the top, he's back there.
Yeah. The top's in the back.
The top's in the back, and he'd like to tell you to subscribe to our YouTube.
Follow us on Spotify.
Follow us on social, please. I cannot express to you enough how much we love attention.
We love attention, and you're just going to love what we have to say.
Yeah.
Because we love what we have to say.
And honestly, that's all that matters.
Exactly.
And also, if you're out there and you're hearing this through your headphones on Apple Podcasts, leave us a review.
Please.
And here's the deal that we'll make with you.
Okay.
Title holders. If you leave us a review, and perhaps in the review you want to shoot your shot with either of us.
Yep.
And I know I'm open.
And I'm single. As of recording this. Anything could happen.
Oh my God, we need to get into that. Shoot your shot.
Yeah.
And we'll read it.
Let's do it.
On the podcast.
Yeah.
We love a review.
Shower us with our own affection.
There are literal companies made to fabricate reviews for CPG.
Right.
Oh, here I go.
Oh, God.
Can't escape it. But we don't want fabricated reviews. We want to know what you really think of us, unless it's bad.
Exactly. Obviously. Please, nothing bad.
So we said this last episode.
Yeah.
We're going to remind you it's only the second episode or third episode, I don't know, of season 2. We're just here.
You just love the episode, and it doesn't matter what number it is.
But what you need to know, and you will know, Marjorie,
hello,
is that we are going to start giving you a teaser of every episode through the pageant framework of Queer Coded Country, because we love pageants, because they're what? Queer coded. So, tonight's episode?
Yes.
Bold women. And you've heard us talk about bold women like Dolly Casey of music.
Our favorites.
We're quickly switching to bold women of television and film. And while we could go on forever about so many women, we've narrowed it down for the viewers at home, listeners at home. But the scorecard goes, what is Queer Coded Country? And a teaser of the episode. So, 10% looking back and finding humor in things that were traumatic, like the fact that the first same-sex wedding and lesbian kiss on daytime television later resulted in a baby being switched at birth on All My Children. With the category of 20% realizing things, like when Erica Kane got amnesia, but still delivered the line, I may not remember my name, but I know how to make an entrance.
20% yeehaw, like throwing a big church wedding and making your colors blush and bashful. And 20% yas queen, which is shoulder pads, period.
Which, honestly, we're giving.
Yeah, hello.
Shoulder pads. And then 30%, the precise intersection of where yeehaw meets yes queen. Like the fact that fucking Erica Kane of All My Children inspired the entire Housewives franchise that later went on to cast Erica Girardi, whose stage name was Erica Jane, inspired by Erica Kane.
And also the fact that every drag queen knows the night the lights went out in Georgia.
And bitch, you know who else knows about the night the lights went out in Georgia?
Reba. And with that, how's your mom and them?
Sweating,
yeah.
Back to sweating. Like, I'm back to sweating. I think mom and them are good.
It's these lights. It's these new lights.
Honestly, on this professional set, I'm hot.
Yeah.
Mom and them, hot.
Doing good.
Pussy's wet.
Well, my mom and them, I've been saying this, but I feel like nothing can go wrong this time of year because it is finally
Scorpio season.
It's my season. Finally, we might be in Scorpio seasons by the time you still listen to this, but
even if we're not, know the energy is giving Scorpio season
100%.
And we're compatible signs.
It is. We're sister signs or something like that. Taurus and Scorpio.
Birthday, yeah. We love astrology, but not that much. If you want to go deeper, we got to get our friend James on the podcast.
Yeah, exactly. But there's a chill in the air.
Oh my God.
And
brisk.
I'm feeling brisk.
Your first fall. Your first proper fall.
No, I was here last year. Don't forget that.
I didn't. I knew. I forgot.
But thank you. Every fall's my first fall. It feels like that anyway.
Oh, me, honey, it's stepmom season, really.
Well, speaking of stepmom and like super iconic women and formative culture to us, like you gave at the top, tonight we were talking about bold women, and more specifically, the women who raised us, we imprinted on, and that were crucial to our growing up and realizing now later in life how queer coded those women and characters in TV and film were.
Yes. And I think the thing is that obviously the thesis of queer coded country is realizing shit is pretty dang queer.
Yeah.
In the same way that the 90s Country Divas episode really took us on a journey of like exploring why we were drawn to these women. This is the same thing because these characters were not written to be queer.
Exactly.
They were not telling queer stories, but we fucking latched onto them.
Yeah.
At such an early age, didn't know why. Fast forward, therapy, healing,
Hallelujah,
realizing things.
Yeah.
And now it's like, oh, no wonder I was obsessed with fucking Erica Kane of All My Children and also Mateo.
Was he on All My Children?
Well, not Mateo, the Italian candle maker that I dated.
Okay, yeah, that's what I was going to say. Like, which one?
Was Kelly and Mark.
Character?
Mark Consuelos was Mateo, and Kelly was his wife. That's how they met.
Stop. I did know that she did soaps, but I didn't remember.
Yeah, she's from New Jersey, soap star. Discovered her very early.
So good. But, to what we're talking about, like, for some reason, like, specifically the characters that we'll be talking about, why is it that, like, queer people, specifically coming from our perspective as, like, gay men, like, imprint on these characters and, like, borrow their, like, sensibilities, their mannerisms, the way they talk? Like, it is so, looking back now, realizing how, to your point, like, these people weren't queer, but the way they were interacting or the things that they were talking about really were, like, so queer themed, or maybe not even just queer things, but, like, values and, traits that the queer community has adopted over time because of how they've had to be resilient.
Yeah, well, I think the whole thing is that we didn't see queer representation that was nuanced or unique or represented what we might have felt. So, like, in that scenario, you latch on and you admire things that feel closer to that, right? And that's what these women represent. They defied gender norms. They were bold. They were absolutely authentic. They also, like, let's just say it, like, they were giving, like, high femme drag, like, the higher the hair, the closer to God, mama. Like, they were performative. They were doing all of these things that we as queer people also did. Yeah. When we formed our identity, it's like, how can we be our
not the seal.
Wow, honey, it's been a long week. It's a Tuesday, if you're wondering. How can we literally form our authentic selves? Mm-hmm. How do we form that when we don't have a blueprint or we don't know, right? Or when society is telling us we have to be one way, but we want to scratch the surface of camp. It's really camp. These women were camp. And I think the other thing, as I look back, like, these were mainstream women. Yeah. This was pop culture.
On our screens.
Even though they were on the inside of society, I think of Opal and All My Children, right? Like, honey, we don't even have enough time to talk about Opal tonight. But they were high society, or they were all of these things, but they also were still outsiders in their own way.
Oh, of course.
And I think that's what feels so connective to them, and that's what feels so important, is that it didn't matter that Erica Kane was this powerful woman, or that Pamela Anderson, Baywatch spoiler, was, such an icon of the time. They still had these things that made them outsiders. Yeah. And I think that is the part that just really resonates. And it is just so fucking fun. And why we do this whole thing, to think about these things, but with, like, a fucking fine tooth. What is the Southern saying?
A fine tooth comb.
A fine tooth comb to look back now and realize things.
Yeah.
Thank you, Kylie.
Well, we throw around the word icon a lot these days. And I think it is not necessarily like a bad thing, because I think we do see more people standing in their truth like these women. Yeah. But these are some of the OG icons specifically to us. But hopefully, like other queer people growing up in the time period that we did will also find this relatable too. And I think, which we will uncover why they were icons. So you've mentioned a few, but I want to know, who's your starlight, diva, icon extraordinaire that raised you?
I mean, it's Erica Kane.
Yeah.
And you know what's so fucking funny? My first ever girlfriend in 4th grade, her name was Erica Kane. Spelled different.
Shut up.
Differently. I don't know.
Would All My Children have aired at
Oh, yeah. It was on since the 70s. Like,
okay. So
honey,
this was
she knew what she was
inspired.
doing. And that's probably why I made her my girlfriend. Oh,
my God, probably.
Talk about realizing things. I was like, well, if I can't be gay, at least I can date someone named Erica Kane. Erica, if you're listening, love you, babe.
Love you, babe.
But no, so like, if you don't know who Erica Kane is,
Tell us.
I doubt that you're listening to this podcast, but like, Erica was dramatic. She was a force. Some would say she was dangerous.
Okay.
And like, I like that.
Yeah.
She was the kind of woman that like, when she walked into a room, you knew she was there. And she probably made it about herself.
Well, I don't know anyone like that.
And just for context, like, she was on All My Children for 41 seasons.
That is insane.
Or years, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. My notes say seasons.
A season a year.
My mind says years. I mean, she's just an icon. She was married a million times on the show. But also, like, to me, when I think of soap operas, I think of Susan Lucci and Erica Kane. Like, I think she was the blueprint for what it meant to be a soap star.
Oh, yeah.
And
I mean, she's iconic she's known. I mean, that's like, she can't be taken apart from that role. Like, it is so iconic to her.
Exactly. And it's just like such a part of the community, which again, to connect it to Housewives, Erica Jane, but also Lisa Rinna, Eileen.
Hello.
Honey.
Yeah.
And now all of these other housewives that are on soaps. Like, bitch, if you're a soap casting director and you want someone, call me. I'm fucking ready. But it's crazy. Like, Erica was the queen of reinvention.
Yes.
Like, the fact that she was married 10 times. 19 times.
Yeah, exactly.
But she literally was constantly reinventing herself. Like, I think that's like, as I reflect back on just watching it at the time in my life, all of these things, like, what I feel is that, like, you know, it was dramatic storylines because it's soap operas and it's crazy, but it was also like, she was constantly reinventing who she was, but always a force.
Yeah. What can I ask?
Yeah.
Who is she? Does she have a job? Is she a mother?
Oh,
what was her role in all of the children?
She was like, I think a rags to riches story, but she was like a mogul socialite of Pine Valley.
Oh, okay.
She was the center of the community and everything kind of was around her.
Okay.
She was Pine Valley's elite socialite. And I think she was a model.
Okay.
But she also went to prison.
Okay.
She
honey,
also faked,
talk about reinventing.
I mean, honey, she also faked her own kidnapping. She also had amnesia. Like, she had pretend amnesia to give you the level
the bitch been through it.
Oh, honey, one of the quotes that she had was like, when you've traveled the road to hell and back as many times as I have, you learn how to dress. Like, literally, like, that is who Erica Jane, Erica Kane, Jane.
Basically
my
the same.
4th grade girlfriend.
Erica Jane, I mean, she went to hell and back and
honey,
still knows how to dress.
Talk about reinvention.
That's what I'm saying.
But she was just this force.
Yeah.
And I think, like, the amnesia era, like, she had a car accident and came back and didn't know who she was. She was like playing the character Jane Doe.
Yeah.
And she literally was like, I don't know my name, but I know how to make an entrance. Like, and she was just like so sure of herself. She knew who the fuck she was.
Yeah.
And it was controversial at the time in some ways, but it was also like so much about like she was portrayed as a villain. And that was supposed to be her character.
That's what I was about to ask. Was she like bad girl, good girl, or like bad girl that has like some redeeming qualities?
She was portrayed as a villain, but there's actually like Susan Lucci was interviewed about the character Erica, and she said like, I never saw her as a villain. I saw her as someone that knew what she wanted.
Yeah.
And people were scared of that. And talk about what we felt in Arkansas at that time, this budding understanding of who we are and what we want, but people not understanding or villainizing it or making it a bad thing.
Yeah.
Like that is who Erica was.
Yeah.
And I think that just also what's queer coded is the longevity, bitch. Like she 41 years?
Yeah.
Like she had staying power.
Yeah.
And you know, it's kind of like in my head, I'm now thinking about like Judge Judy, like a bitch that knew what she wanted.
Right.
Like, and I think that that's what I really resonated with. And what's interesting, we talk about like when we were connecting, how did we discover these people?
Yeah.
Bitch, I watched this with my grandmother and my mom at home during the summer because mom was a teacher. So she was home with us. Me and Meemaw would be on the couch laid up from noon to 3, all my children, One Life to Live, then General Hospital. Mom and Meemaw would be like ironing, and I'm like sitting there watching, and then I would be so devastated when school would start back. And I would have to miss. And Meemaw would pick me up, and she would catch me up on the stories.
In my head, I was like, is it the tapes?
No, the stories. The stories. She'd be like, oh, well, today Greenlee and Ryan broke up, and... You know, I'm just not really into Greenlee right now, but so-and-so came back from the dead. And I'm like, thank fucking God for that.
Yeah,
like,
hallelujah.
And so it was just like also this beautiful thing. Like I have to imagine that people that actually like sports, like their pussy throbs like when someone hits a home run in the same way that I did when when Erica Kane was like, I don't know my name, but I know I make it. Like that to me, that's power.
Yeah.
And so it was just crazy because it was so chaotic, but it was like also I just saw this world that was drama. And like when I say that Erica walked into a room and made it about her, like I'm not saying I do that, but I'm not saying I don't do that. Yeah. If that makes sense.
I mean, 100% it does. To me, I never watched soap operas growing up, but I was very aware of All My Children because a lot of my family did. Yeah. And when my family, like way back when, they were really into it. So even the fact that like they'd stopped watching yet continued to know these characters, and they would be able to reference things and be like, oh yeah, well, she got amnesia. My amnesia era.
Right. Well, honey, I'm about to go into that. And let's talk about the fact that pretend amnesia. Housewives.
Yeah, hello.
But the other part of it that like, so like at that level, it was like camp. I was into this, but also Erica's daughter, Bianca, was a lesbian. And this was in like 2003, I think, or like, no, 2009, which would have been like from like 2003 to 2009, which was like peak high school, which was like peak me.
Yeah.
And I remember, I mean, I said this in the teaser, but like, it was like on daytime television, the first lesbian storyline. It was the first lesbian wedding. There was this reflection of the time where Erica, who is this powerful woman, struggles at first to accept it. Yeah. And like that's part of the storyline, but then later comes around, which is like generational healing. Like, and like I was a baby watching this. Like I was a little baby. Yeah. And I was seeing it honestly, it was probably the first queer narrative that I ever saw. And I still specifically remember it. And like, even though it did end with Bianca's baby being switched at birth in the like infirmary or whatever it's called, and like a whole drama and blah, blah, blah. Like, honey, queer's on TV when I was like watching my mom like starch my Wranglers for the rodeo.
Especially when like at the time, all that you know about queer narratives for the most part anyway, are what you see on the TV, which is on the news. Well, on the news, I mean.
Yeah.
And it's very like high stakes and polarizing, and to see like the arc of like unacceptance to acceptance is impactful.
And honestly, now that I think about it, I want to like start a bar called Pine Valley.
Yeah, honestly, you should. Just reruns.
Okay, but who was it for you? Like, what was
let me tell you.
Who was your? Sits up, getting
Let me
ready,
get comfortable.
By the way, title holders. This is a coat that we got from my mom's closet.
Yes.
And mom was certainly wearing this when we were watching All My Children while she starched my Wranglers.
Oh my gosh. Well, I'm glad that she was, and I'm glad that she has passed it down to chosen family. Okay, so mine is Julia Sugarbaker from Designing Women. And honestly, all of the women of Designing Women, but Julia Sugarbaker in particular. So if you don't know Designing Women.
If you don't know, you will know.
You will know. But Designing Women was about these 5 women who ran an interior design business in Atlanta. It was produced by a man from Arkansas. And so some of the characters had like Arkansas roots. Charlene, Jean Smart's character, which shout out to Jean Smart.
Because also a woman that we can't talk about because of time constraints of the episode.
Yeah.
Jean Smart's character in the Brady Bunch.
Exactly. But that's how I recognized her.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's about their like relationships outside with like husbands, boyfriends, divorcees, their kids, motherhood, client relationships, friendships. And it's just kind of like a sitcom situation. But Julia was HBIC. And she was the president of the design firm. Okay. And
we're really picking up on things. Walks into a room, makes it about herself. Yeah. President of the design. Like literally, these women are us.
Totally. But Julia, I love that I wrote this. She was.
I love my notes for this episode. I'm so funny.
I'm so excited because honestly, like this is something too that I never got to talk about with people because they were like, what do you mean the show Designing Women from 1987? Yeah. Which, speaking of how I discovered it, I was getting ready every day for school and my mom would play from the 7 to 8 block on Lifetime. They would do 2 episodes back to back. Yeah. So I would just watch while I was getting ready and eating breakfast before I would go to school. 2 minutes away.
What was your breakfast, by the way?
When mom would make it for me, it would be scrambled eggs and toast. That was my fave. You got to add Cavenders to your scrambled eggs if you're not title holders.
If you don't know what Cavenders is, swipe up.
Well, I don't have time to tell you about Cavenders, but I do have more time to tell you about Julia Sugarbaker. Well-mannered, but not to be fucked with. She was always poised, and she always wore like an amazing business suit. She always had huge glasses on, and she was really known for having very staunch opinions and views, but like was always open and accepting to other people. But what she's like most known for are her like very scathing but eloquent takedowns. She was reading them down the house boots.
Yes, literally. Right?
And so she had some iconic ones, which we mentioned in the teaser about RuPaul even did this as a spoken lip sync on All Winners season, the first one. And that, Marjorie, just so you will know, and your children will someday know, are the night the lights went out in Georgia. So if you don't know that,
now you know.
You do know.
But the pace in which she says that and delivers that, and what you don't know, and what you will know, and what your children will one day know, it is so and it is so like, bitch, don't come for me.
And she was always making a point about standing up for someone or like getting her point across and taking someone down, not by being just rude, but also reading them with facts and detail.
Well, because that's the point of a read is you go high.
Exactly.
You don't take the cheap shot.
Exactly.
You've got to outsmart them. And I didn't watch Designing Women, but hearing you talk about it and your references, I'm like, no, she went high.
Yeah, well, it was very progressive because they talked about like true things that were happening during the time while the show was on. It was all about feminism. It was all about like their kids in school and feeling conflicted on if they felt like they should stand up for sex education at the PTA meeting, which I brought this up in one of the episodes from last season about abstinence-only sex education. There's an episode where a gay man who has AIDS comes in as a client of the Sugarbaker design firm. And,
it was named after her?
Oh, yeah, the Sugarbaker sisters. The silent partner, Suzanne, her sister, the pageant queen, who she defended in the night the lights went out in Georgia.
Okay, wait, but can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Am I remembering that the design firm was in a house?
Okay, so am I remembering that correctly? Yes, it's an iconic house. It's a house in Little Rock because the people were, the creators of the show were from Missouri and Arkansas. There's a home in Little Rock that became the like exterior shots of the house.
Oh my God. And also Reba McEntire wrote a song about Little Rock. All roads lead to Reba.
Honey,
and
Arkansas. Imagine. But in the episode, the episode was called Killing All the Right People. This woman, and overhearing this conversation about this guy having AIDS, says, well, I just know one thing. It's killing all the right people. And not Suzanne, Julia has this amazing line read. And she goes, if God was handing out sexually transmitted diseases as punishment for sin, then you would be at the free clinic all the time. And but like, that was pretty progressive, like in the height of the AIDS pandemic in 80s or 87, whenever it was, like to make a statement like that as Southern women, I thought was really impactful.
Yes. And I think that that's the thing too. And that's like a part of this that where my mind goes back to is like, oh, kids are too young, we're whatever. No, bitch, you remember that comment and I remember the lesbian kiss.
Exactly.
And that is why like kids are not too young. We are consuming, we are taking it in, and it is formative. And that's what's so crazy, because when I think about it, I'm like, okay, these were formative characters because they were different than the indoctrination
totally
that we were being fed. They were radical,
which
what
is
we would call radical today.
I know. I guess that's
woke.
What's crazy. Yeah, exactly. Like they were taking topics that were relevant to the time and putting it through the right narrative to be consumed, and it was done extremely well. Yeah, in my opinion.
And I think that that's like one of the things too that I always think about is like, what are the messages that we're receiving? How are we receiving them? What do they mean to us?
Yeah.
And that is queer-coded country. Like these queer-coded narratives shape us and inform us. And like literally not only because Julia Sugarbaker is iconic for that line, but it's just like that. I see her in you.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. But also like to see during those time periods, people having those kinds of conversations and like standing up and not sacrificing, or also doing the hard thing, which is like what's not necessarily accepted at the time, was really shaped how I kind of like thought about like not everything is black and white. Like there are two sides to every story, and they debated amongst themselves. Like they all had different opinions, so it wasn't just like this is the right way. And I mean, it was made in the 80s and the early 90s. Who knows? Some things probably still don't
of
hold
course
up,
everything is a little problematic, but like I think I just feel like we are back in a time like that.
Yeah,
like we are back in a time where it is more important than ever, especially for designing women and white women and white cis men and us, and like to be connected to marginalized communities and understand that like we have to speak up. And I think that that's also something that I see in looking back on like some of the quotes, even from Erica. Like I wrote these down. One, she said, I am Erica Kane. You are not. And like, that's just like so cunt.
Yeah.
And also Susan Lucci was interviewed and she said, well, I think Erica taught women to dream bigger and dress better. And it's like, that wasn't just for women, right? That was for us too. And how we live doesn't have to be bound by who's consuming. It has to be bound by knowing who the fuck we are.
Yeah.
And not wavering from that. And that's what Julia and Erica did. And they stood 10 toes down
Yes.
in their truth.
I know. So I'm kind of curious. You mentioned Baywatch. Is that another were they formative to you too?
So yes, and oh God, wow, it's so crazy, Tucker. I say this almost every episode, but the way that I'm able to just like in this moment unlock things that I didn't have access to, and it's part of my therapy practice is for him to ask me to say the first thing I think when he asks me a question. And when you asked me that question, what came to mind was yes. And I originally got into Baywatch because it made me feel masculine, because it was rooted in sexualizing and fantasizing the women in the red swimsuits.
Totally.
Like that's what made it acceptable for me to want to watch it.
That's a good point.
It was different than watching All My Children, which could have been gay. It was different than watching Designing Women, which could have been gay.
Yeah.
Watching Baywatch, the target audience was men fantasizing about women.
Totally.
And wow. So that was like,
whoa,
hey. Well,
it was a pretty good first thought.
Yeah, honestly, thank you to my therapist for that practice. But yeah, I mean, I was obsessed with Baywatch.
Yeah.
I literally had posters of Pamela Anderson and Carmen Electra in my bedroom. When we would go
he must be straight.
Absolutely. The posters are there because I'm horny, not because I'm gay. And when we would go to the lake, I would like have the boat shut off and I would like dive off the side as if I was them. And I just love them. But what's so interesting, again, like looking back, like watching this every day after school, I cried when Stephanie died. The sailing pole hit her in the chest. And I remember crying and like being made fun of for crying a little bit. But I was like sad. I like Stephanie, like she was an integral part.
Yeah.
But what's interesting to look back now, and especially like with Pamela Anderson having her like resurgence era, is that she was literally exerting her dominance through this like exaggerated view of what it meant to be a woman.
Yeah.
And she was in on the joke. It's very Dolly boobs whole thing. Like,
owning your sexuality.
Yeah, like she used the patriarchy for her gain and to her advantage. And there was a quote from an interview and in the documentary recently that was like, I was never a damsel in distress. I played the part and that's why it worked.
Yeah.
And it was like seeing her now in this world where she did what she had to do. Julia Sugarbaker, Survivor.
Yes.
Erica Kane, Survivor. Fucking Pamela Anderson, CJ. Like, I love CJ.
That was her character's name?
Yeah, it was like Casey Jean or something.
Okay.
And, you know, a survivor, but also Pamela Anderson, a survivor. She knew what she had to do and she knew how to work the system.
Yeah.
And that is the queer experience. And also just the fact that she went through such public humiliation, the sex tape, all of these things, just because she was visible, just because she was hot, just because all of these things and was ridiculed for it. Like, that is the queer experience. Like, especially for trans people right now, like just existing, just being visible, just being unafraid to be different than anything that people are accustomed to or used to or think you should be, puts you under attack. And like, that's what happened to Pamela Anderson. And also like Carmen Electra, like I was really into Carmen Electra and she was mentored by Prince, which is who gave her the name Carmen Electra, which is kind of wild.
Wow,
so like,
I don't think I knew that.
That in itself was queer, but like in this era of women who had to use, it's again, I say Dolly, they had to use the power that they had to influence this target audience of men.
Yeah. And
at the same time, they were influencing us. They were influencing me. I was seeing their power. I was seeing their dominance. I was seeing their, you know, independence and also just being in on the joke. Like they took control in the ways that they knew how to take control. And now for a Pamela Anderson to be doing that same thing, but like with like radical honesty.
Yeah.
Showing up to an award show with no makeup. Like she's saying, fuck y'all.
Yeah.
I did that. And now I am honest as a form of rebellion.
Yeah.
And like, again, the thought, like, that's what this is.
Yeah. 100%.
This is our honesty.
Yeah.
As a form of rebellion against the systems and the chains that bound us previously that we now can be free of.
Yeah. And to also be so iconic for like owning their sexuality, no matter how it was interpreted by whoever it landed with. But to be so iconic for that, and then to years later now become iconic for the opposite of that, and like being, I mean, obviously she's still gorgeous and as sexy
and the last
as
show,
ever.
Girl, are you kidding me?
But like, you know, to make a point to
Yes.
say that this is you had this over me, you don't get it anymore because I'm just as beautiful doing this now, and I have just as much power.
Well, and that's the thing is that like these simple-minded fucking people thought that they were like winning and that like she was the damsel in distress and she never was.
Yeah.
And it's just, you know, society didn't do her any favors in those moments.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful to watch her. I was about to sing my Let's Be Reborn.
Basically.
But it is that. Like, I don't know. I mean, I just like feel, it's funny. I feel so deeply connected to Pamela Anderson. And I mean, part of it is that she was on my goddamn wall for years.
Yeah.
I was looking at her. She was a shield for my faggotry.
Yeah.
Because my obsession with her was allowed because the men in my life and society thought my obsession was over the same reason that they were, which was just the physicality and the sexualization and all of that. But my obsession, so that protected me.
Yeah.
That gave me permission to be obsessed with her. But it was the nuance and the layers and all of those things that really, and CJ as a character that were like, no, that's it. And that's what's so crazy is that I didn't even know how to define queerness at the time in 3rd grade when I was watching Baywatch after school.
Yeah. And I don't even like, to that point, like I didn't talk about the fact that I loved like Designing Women or Julia Sugarbaker for so long, but now to like do that and like have the connection with other people over this, or even not even if they don't know it, to be able to share it with someone else and like them understand, be like, oh yeah, I could see how that's iconic, or I know that through Drag Race or whatever.
Yeah.
It's so fun.
What about you? Like like title holders, we're looking out because we could do this for 17 days. 4 scores and 7 years ago, they're still talking about iconic women. But like, what were some others for you?
I mean, for me, the women of Steel Magnolias.
Julia Roberts.
I mean, Julia Roberts, stacked cast. I mean, Sally Field, Olympia Dukakis, Shirley MacLaine, Daryl Hannah, and let us not forget Dolly Parton.
I mean,
well, and to your point, like at the top, we've talked about her before, but that's like people who are in on the joke, people who have control and have power. And I think all of these women did that in a specific way during the like through the dialogue and through the characters or whatever. But it's just so iconic. I mean, why it's queer coded. A group of women tied together by friendship and the beauty salon.
Title holders.
Like, hello, that's obviously where they're getting down. They're gossiping. Like, that's where I saw super similarly to my life growing up. Like I was a only child, and so my parents would cart me everywhere, take me to their friends' parties, and I would just be, sometimes I'd be the only kid there, and I'd just be sitting around listening to them chit chat, talk about relationships, gossip, smoke their cigarettes, and
honey,
you know, and
you and Donna would have loved each other.
Exactly. All day. But they all had such very distinct personalities, and it was just like so fun to like see a little bit of myself in each and every one of them. And some of the other things that make them queer coded, like just being witty and sharp, very similarly to like Julia Sugarbaker, but like Clary has this line in the film, she goes, you know what they say, if you can't say anything nice about somebody else, come sit by me.
I know, and that's the opposite of what we learned. If you can't say anything nice, don't say anything at all.
But you can see them kind of be a little cunty, but also at the end of the day, care for what really matters and like know that. And that was really important. And also, they dressed well for the occasion at all times. And you know my philosophy, dress well, test well. Yes. So that was iconic. And I think too, most importantly, like in that movie is like surviving heartache through friendship.
Yeah.
And that's a very queer narrative of like facing adversity.
Right.
And having your friends to be able to get you through it and also laugh. I mean, my friendships, like I look now and I'm like, oh my God, I see so many of these friendships in my life today.
Right.
Like, you know, the iconic scene at the end of the film where Clary grabs Weezer and like tries to makes them laugh in a very tense moment. And Dolly says, well, laughter through tears is my favorite emotion. And I relate to that.
And that's 10% laughing at things that were once traumatic.
Exactly. And being able to take the piss out of something a little bit, even if it like is heart-wrenching or whatever, being able to be like, laugh about it. I mean, that's what we do every day on and off the podcast.
Yeah. Okay, I have some questions for you. One related, one unrelated, based on something that I just saw.
Yeah.
Which is mostly just you, so you'll have to guess. But one, you said dress well, test well. I also think that it's time that you share with the title holders your philosophy on cost per wear versus cost per compliment.
Okay, so obviously to justify your expensive clothing purchases, you do cost per wear. Like how many times I'm going to wear this, you can get the cost per wear down pretty dang low. But I think it's more important to be marking the value of clothes by cost per compliment because that's going to get you a lot further. You're going to feel better, and so much so that it even drives the cost per wear down even further because the more compliments you get on something, the more you're going to wear it again.
And that is cost per compliment.
And that is cost per compliment.
I think they need to teach this in fashion school.
I love it. I'm the adjunct professor.
Okay, the second thing that I wanted to comment on, which is literally the universe, because we do believe in the universe.
Yeah.
When you were talking about powerful women, you were talking about Dolly, whatever, you moved your head passionately, and I got a brief glimpse at Reba behind you.
I know.
And it reminded me of AJ Ferguson in The Little Rascals when they also were, you don't know this?
I keep going though.
But first of all, they go to this like race car thing and they think AJ Ferguson is a male driver. And at the end, they meet AJ Ferguson and it's fucking Reba McEntire. And she's a woman.
Yes.
And that is an iconic queer-coded moment.
Dispelling assumptions.
Yes. And I fucking AJ Ferguson, I swear to God. And honestly, God is Reba.
Yeah.
And Beyonce.
But
and Julia.
I think what's fun too is I really, through my women, adopted these behaviors. Yes. And I really started to, not necessarily in a way that was problematic, but in a way that like when Julia spoke, she spoke with like such eloquence and great diction, and it was enunciated and it was clear and it was sharp and it was detailed. And that to me was, I was like, oh, the detail is what sells it.
Yes.
And
absolutely.
So I started to do that too. And I see that in my humor. And like she had these like sharp side comments.
Yes.
And I find myself doing that a lot.
Yes. Well, it's like we model these women because it's what we grew up with. I mean, again, Erica walked into a room and made it about herself. I'm sorry for anyone that's ever been in a room with me.
Exactly.
But I also like, I just felt connected. I love the chaos.
Yeah.
Like Pine Valley was a mess.
Yeah.
And so was my family.
Yeah.
And that's what I loved about it, was just like, also anything was fucking possible in Pine Valley. You could get amnesia. You could become Jane Doe. You could go to prison. You could come back. You could get married 10 times. You could fuck your brother's twin, which I love.
Interesting.
More on that behind a paywall. But you know, it was chaos.
Yeah.
And I loved it. And what I think about in this moment is that I sat there behind that big screen TV that I once accidentally threw a bat through and thought my dad was going to kill me, watching these women and fantasizing about a place like Pine Valley, didn't know how to get there, didn't know what it would be like, didn't know what it would entail, but it felt limitless. Pine Valley felt like a limitless place to be. And that is why I fucking loved Pine Valley. And also, I don't know why I'm thinking about this, but Greenleaf from All My Children went on to marry Bob the Bachelor in real life later on. And that was a crossover that changed me.
Well, I'm sure it would, as anybody would. You know where you can also find chaos and drama and looks and acerbic wit? Channel 129 on Dish. Bravo.
Housewives. I mean, it is the blueprint. Pretend Amnesia, Lisa Rinna, Eileen.
Totally.
Also, the quotes that Erica had, like, I may not remember, I'm going to say it over and over. I may not remember my name, but I know how to serve an entrance. That is tagline.
That's a Real Housewives tagline.
That is what they were. And Andy was inspired and interviewed Susan Lucci early in his career.
Yeah.
And I don't know what it is about women fighting with each other that gets me off, but it just makes me, that is meditative to me.
I think it's not even just the fighting, it's the waiting to find the resolution and see when they finally do meet common ground.
Yes.
Because, I mean, let's be real, not all of the housewives are ever going to see eye to eye like Luann and Bethany. Like, they were never meant to be friends.
But the thing is, when what's clicking now is that I talked about earlier that like Erica was the queen of reinvention.
Yeah.
And that's a successful housewife.
Yes.
You have to constantly reinvent yourself. The other thing that I will fucking die on this cross.
Yep.
Successful housewife franchises are able to fight, make up, move on, fight, make up, move on. And that is what Erica's storylines were. It's like literally stop with the bullshit. Just be petty over whether or not you have a black card or, you know, I can't even fathom the good fights versus the bad ones, but like, let's get back to fight and move on and let's be cunty but kind.
Exactly.
Like what I love about Miami is that they will be at each other's throat, but when something bad happens, they're there for each other. And when you were talking about designing women, it was like, no, these women showed up, even if they disagreed, whatever. And it's just like, thank God for housewives.
Yeah. Thank God for housewives. I mean, even though like critics probably think of Real Housewives as like frivolous and like decadent and over and
Fuck
extravagant, but I do think yes, sometimes it's bullshit, like Lucy Apple Juicy, but other times it is important stories about friendship and repairing friendship and always having to do that in the face of misogynist and still doing it and still getting renewed. All My Children, Honey, Real Housewives.
41 years. And don't forget saggy knees. I know you're not caught up on Miami.
I was going to say.
Saggy knees are important. God, well, hey.
You got any parting shots?
Honestly, my parting shot is let your kids watch soap operas. Put soap operas on streaming so I can go back and watch it. And I think my parting shot is just fucking Erica Kane, like, own who you are and reinvent it. That's my fucking parting shot. I think that sometimes as adults, we settle in. I think people settle in. I think they think that they do this, blah, blah, blah. I'm feeling that in this moment in my life that like I had this path that I was on and I was reaching it and it was like gonna be settled in. And as you can see talking about it, I'm not settled in.
Yeah.
I never want to settle in.
Yeah.
I don't want to settle in. I want to reinvent. I want to change. I want to fail. I want to try again. I don't fucking care as long as I am not losing touch with who I am, who I want to be, and my authentic self. So even if it feels scary, fucking reinvent yourself like Erica Kane / Erica Jane / Julia Sugarbaker and all of these.
And Pam Anderson, CJ.
Pamela.
My parting shot is, I think what I take away from all of this, like after like, obviously we've been sitting with this idea and like, how does it come to life? And as I started looking at it, it's chosen family. Like none of these people are related. I mean, some of them are in Steel Magnolias, but none of them are related, and they chose to show up for each other in the good and the bad, even when they were pissed off at them or didn't like their choices. Like it was chosen family, and that is why these women, these TV shows, these films are queer coded, and they just show it's not who you love, it's how you love and how you show up. And that's what I will take with me. And that is the night the lights went out in 4P. Okay,
well, now people know my address. So
okay.
for that. So
We'll
let's
bleep that.
do yeehaw. Yeehaw to Yes Queen, the part of the show where producer Samuel will flash things before our eyes that we don't know, and we will rate them on a scale of yeehaw to Yes Queen. Neither yeehaw or Yes Queen are bad. It is just a spectrum of vibes.
Pretend amnesia.
Yes,
Yes,
Queen.
No explanation.
No, that's Yes Queen. The end.
Public humiliation.
Neither.
Yeah.
Public humiliation unless you deserve it.
Yeah. Exactly.
Okay, wait. I do support public humiliation for people that deserve public humiliation.
Yeah.
And I think that's very specific. I want very specific public humiliation.
Yeah.
For people that deserve it. For people that are just living, I don't want humiliation. No kink shaming.
Yes.
No lifestyle shaming. But if you're a bad person, I want your fucking text printed all over the internet, and I want specifics of how you are a bad person. So I don't know if that's yeehaw or Yes Queen, but that's what I feel.
Bitch, be humble. Julia Roberts.
Everything.
Yes, Queen.
Yes, Queen.
Yes, Queen.
Yeehaw. I mean, she rode that horse out of Runaway Bride.
I mean,
yeehaw.
honey, she drank the juice in Steel Magnolias.
I mean, she
tried not to at first.
Drink your juice, Shelby.
Drink your juice, Shelby.
Well, and with that, we say, y'all come back now, you're queer.
Queer Coded Country is created and hosted by Hunter Poole and Tucker Travis, produced and edited by Sammy Junio.